Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the A Show with the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcast, reporting live on day 2, part 2 of the WrestleMania Prediction Party. Bigger and better than ever this year. I'm here with Meelz. What's good, Meelz?
Man, it's WrestleMania. It's still WrestleMania week. I mean, I'm looking forward to everything that's going on thus far, but we have got a show for you. I mean, we've already had a show. I mean, it's already like 3 hours long, to be honest with
you. So last time you guys got the women's matches in the undercard, and we got hot takes for you guys as well. On this episode, we'll be talking about we've got a special segment, the Rising Stars segment, with a cool guest for you guys. We think you're gonna really enjoy, as well as the WrestleMania main events with our pal Bans, who returns again to talk about the main events, and that being the triple threat between Cody, Roman, and Seth, as well as Cena versus Cody Rhodes. My brain is fried, as well as Jey Uso versus Gunther.
Yeah, man. Listen, it's been a long week. It's a long WrestleMania. We're talking all about it. So yeah, we're not even gonna hold you up, guys. We're not gonna hold you guys up any longer. Let's get into the Rising Stars segment.
Listen. I'm still not right. I'm still not right from this segment. I'm still pissed, having to keep it all together. But yeah, this is the Rising Stars segment. Thank you guys for listening to the A Show, and we'll talk to you guys really soon. Peace. All right. We are back on the WrestleMania Prediction Party, part 2. If you enjoyed part 1, be back with part 2. I don't even know if a lot of people are going to be able to listen to all of part 1 because it's like 2 hours, 3 hours long. But we are back with the first segment of part 2. This is something that's been like requested a lot for the past 2.5, 3 years. With our guest, obviously, Josh Pease is joining us on the show. New wrestling media.
Media now, I'm in the building.
How do you get to a press? How do you get into a presser before me, man?
I don't know, man. I just got invited to another one for after WrestleMania. I might pull up.
We got the invite. I'm like, man, Josh about to pull up to this joint.
Think about it, man. A little quick turnaround.
He's like, hey, remember me? I'm back. But we did a segment a couple years ago called "I'm Not a Star." And we had Josh, who at the time wasn't, you weren't really watching, you weren't really as in depth as you are now.
I feel like the whole world was like tuned in now.
Yeah.
But at that point I wasn't. And like I've been watching like sparingly here and there, so I might know a few of the folks who pull up, or you guys pull up. But yeah, no, it's crazy. I love the turn that wrestling has made in the last 12 months. I think they're very intentional with just doing the TKO deal and just like how they just want to expand beyond what their current base is. Yep. And now you see it full throttle. You see Travis Scott, you see, and Wale has been a staple, but you're starting to see more pop culture leaning in. So it's beautiful to see.
Yeah, for sure. And I think a lot of people at the time looked at it and said, they either called you crazy, or they said this is the greatest assessment of the upcoming stars WWE that they've ever seen before. And we're going to test that theory again we're going to name it something different. We're going to call it Rising Stars with Josh.
Rising Stars, okay. Because everyone's pretty much a star. At this point, everyone's pretty much a star or a star in the making. If you've been seen on television, yeah,
with TKO money, yes, everybody's pretty much a star at this point.
And these are all WWE?
Yes, all WWE. Just to fit the WrestleMania theme, I think last year we kind of gave you some AEW folks.
Yeah,
no need to do that this time. Nothing changed.
Literally nothing has changed.
Yeah, nothing has changed.
My dude Tony Khan, that's his name.
Yeah.
That's your dude.
In the Phil family, he owns the Jaguars. Locked in. We tied in.
Oh my God. Let's get it started, Meelz. I'll just have you pick whoever you put it on the screen, and then we assess it from there.
We're going to get it started with someone who has pretty much had a major year. I mean, when you think about it, she was featured in Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
She made her debut in the Royal Rumble. She is now going to be on one of the main events of NXT Stand and Deliver, which is an NXT show that also airs this weekend. There's none other than Jada Parker. Are you familiar with Jada Parker?
I'm not. I should be. I should be.
Jada Parker is essentially one of the standouts on NXT, who went viral on World Star, believe it or not.
Yeah.
In 2022. In 2023 went viral on World Star.
She it was just for her entrance. I think it was literally her entrance. She did the the old dance where people do this.
Yeah.
Or she does that in her entrance.
So she went viral because people were like, essentially like, yo, wrestlers ain't look like this when I was a kid. Like,
she's from Florida. She's from Florida.
I see she's
from Florida.
Like,
yeah, she's a big hip hop fan. She's pretty much one of the standout stars. Like, I wish I could loop in the audio.
That's the pick. Just go ahead, go there, Meelz. Nope.
Which one? This one?
You know what pick? You know
the one that broke the internet. I'm not gonna do that. We're not gonna subject her. She's a wrestler.
Okay. I follow she got. I'm gonna have to follow up. Hold on, let me see.
Jada Parker. I think it's Jada.Parker. WWE.
Yeah, essentially, she had this great. I should have changed my audio. Actually, let me see if I could do it right now. See if I could change my audio right now, because I definitely do want to play her promo that essentially helped her get
on.
Am I still here?
Yeah.
Yep.
You're still here.
All right. Hopefully nothing thing, but I want to try to get to the promo. And here you go. This is it. See if you can hear this. Can you hear this?
Yeah.
Slightly.
You got to turn it up. Oh, man. The technology hating on us. We can't hear it, Meelz.
I don't even need to hear it. She's a star.
I mean, what about the qualities, Josh? Do you think that like you take away from seeing Jada Parker?
I think just like the World Star community said, wrestlers didn't look like this when I was younger. So she's beautiful. She looks like she got a little height on her too. I'm like looking at her squaring up with this girl in the middle frame there.
Well, everyone in NXT is kind of like tiny. Like she's.
Oh, okay.
I don't think she's than anyone else. You probably.
She's damn near like 5'11", 6 feet. I think she looks
5'11". Jada Parker.
Yeah, she looked tall. She played volleyball.
Yeah. All right. Cool. All right. I didn't know she was 5'11". She don't look 5'11" to me. But
I said she looked 5'11". I don't know if that's the. Let me check.
Yeah,
but
star.
But listen, star. She's main eventing Stand and Deliver this weekend. She's pretty much in the match with essentially 3 big veterans, which a couple of these we're going to talk about as well. But she's a star, like in every sense of the word.
Wait, damn! So she's fighting for it's an NXT title. Okay.
Yeah, the main women's title for NXT, and there's a couple. Let's get that off the screen. There's a couple of people that we're going to talk about in that match in a second. But Jada Parker is a star. Stamp it. We got to get the Rick Ross. We got to cut the I'm not, and we got to make it I'm a star. Like we got to.
That's why we should have got Mark could have been here.
We got to cut the not out of it. All right, who's up next?
Next up is Javon Evans.
Okay.
YN of NXT. That's not his real moniker. That's what we call him.
Okay.
Essentially, but he will also.
He calls himself the Young OG. That's funny.
Yeah, he calls Young OG, but he will also be in the main event of TakeOver. He's competing for the NXT Championship. Listen, Trick Williams, Obafemi, Javon Evans.
The 3 niggas with dreads.
That's what I was commenting on. But he looks funny in the corner. He throwing up something. Where's he from originally?
Isn't he from Ohio? Or South Carolina?
He might be from
South Carolina.
Hood is if he's from Ohio, he might be from the same hood as Trippie Redd.
Nah, he's not.
They say he's labeled as born in Greensboro, North Carolina, but I believe he did live and reside in South Carolina at one point because he and Trick Williams are from the same kind of area.
Now you can just see from his disposition, you know, you can kind of just get a general gist of like
YN.
Yeah, he definitely got YN. This chain is blowing me.
But we got to show like some of the reasons why he's like so explosive.
Go up.
Wait, which one?
I think I've seen some Who Decides to Wear Jeans. Keep going. What's just going on here? So right.
This was the night where there was a gimmick that he had, or there was a storyline he had where one of the wrestlers broke his jaw. And the blood was on he wore white jeans. Usually in wrestling, when you wear white, that means you're about to bleed. He wore white jeans. And I think what was cool about that is that a lot of people didn't recognize that. Why is he wearing white? There's another one of his boom. Why is he wearing white? And it's because he was going to bleed that night.
Okay, he's like a little bit of a high flyer. Okay.
Yeah, he's like really like a Jeff Hardy kind of mix, but like he's really get to some videos.
This is as a kid.
That's him as a kid.
Okay, he's a star. At first I was a little wary. This promo photo on a BPS, but he's a star.
Look at this. Randy Orton.
Oh shit.
Randy Orton actually co-signed him.
Okay.
Like, Randy Orton said this kid is up next. Like he said, this is the guy that Randy Orton handpicked him to face off against late last year.
Yo, Randy Orton loves some niggas. Did y'all see some of his gym playlists? He was like, I listen to Glorilla, Sexy Red. Like this nigga, he tapped in. I fuck with him. I fuck with this dude.
Signed from Rob Van Dam.
Oh yeah, co-signed from Rob Van Dam as well. Yeah.
Yeah, he's he's one of them, but he's a star. He's definitely a star. Like if anything, I would.
He got the Xbox co-sign. He got everybody co-signing him.
Bro, they think a lot of this kid, and I think the one thing that I'll say, I think he need to get a little bit bulkier. He need to get a little bigger. He is a little lanky, but I think that comes in time. You know what I mean? I think he's gonna come.
I also think just for his skill set, I think that's him being able to jump around and shit like that. You kind of need to be a little thinner. I think about the Rey Mysterios of the world and so forth.
Absolutely.
You stamp another star.
Next one up next is Julia. And Julia, she was signed. She was a big signing last year for WWE. She's major in Japan. She is essentially, she will also be part of the main event. She's this lady right here. She will also
Japanese?
Yeah, she's Japanese.
She's Japanese. And
you said Japanese and what?
Italian.
Okay, I see it.
Yeah,
I was just going to say one of them like white Japanese people.
Go to this pic on the left with her just standing just the step. Yeah, that one. This is essentially Julia. You know, she's a high flyer as well. She's from the same vein as other women in the company, such as Io Sky. I think we've seen her before, Asuka, and a lot of the other Japanese women. But they usually do quite well in WWE. I think there's only been like one miss in the past couple years in terms of just like Japanese female superstars. What do you think, Josh? That's her entrance look. She's very theatrical.
Yeah. I like her costume. Let me see her wrestle. Let me see her in the ring. Can we get some videos of her?
Let's get some in-ring stuff here.
Let's see. Hold on. Well, no, this is. I don't want to end up being.
That was a cool counter. It was a cool counter. That's just that's the counter. Yeah. So she does this. Countered out.
Ooh, that's crazy. That was crazy.
then converts it over into the.
Oh yeah. She's a star. Is that the crossface? Is that move?
Yeah, that's that was like a shoulder breaker crossface combination.
Yeah. Like the rings of Saturn that Perry Saturn used to do. I don't know.
Yeah, I got a Saturn t-shirt in my room. I don't know why.
Yeah, she was formerly the NXT Women's Champion, but her pal Stephanie McCurry, we're gonna get to her in a second. Yeah, that's the girl on the left. We'll get to her in a second. Let's say. Let's see. And that's like a bigger conversation. So that's why I'm glad that Meelz picked Julia first, because there's a big conversation surrounding these two in star power. But stamped as a star. Let's move on to the next person here on our list. This is going to be interesting. I already see what it is.
Well, I'm gonna go back to a guy. We're gonna try to swap back and forth.
Yeah.
Next one. This one's Ricky Saints. You want to explain Ricky Saints, J5, or should I explain Ricky Saints?
Ricky Saints, formerly Starks, was a guy who used to be in AEW. A lot of people compared him to talkers like The Rock. He's charisma like The Rock, and a lot of different things like that. He was in AEW for about 5 years.
The video to the right. I'm sorry, before you go past it.
You want to
box to the right? Yeah, I'm walking.
Yeah.
What is he
Adoring the crowd.
Nah, that was oh man, that was hilarious.
So this guy was in AEW, and a lot of people would say that they fumbled him because they did nothing with him for about a year and a half, 2 years, and he just sat at home. And then he just recently got let go from his contract, and he's now in NXT. And they've already given him a title in NXT his first month there.
Okay. Yeah, honestly, I'm not mad at this guy, man. He reminds me of like kind of like a soap opera star, where it's like cheesy, but it's not. Or like he'd be like a good Tyler Perry villain. Does he have like a thick New Orleans accent? I can already tell he probably got the crazy Creole accent.
He's from New Orleans, yeah, but no accent, no accent at all, which is actually funny. But he changed his name from Starks to Saints as in respect of New Orleans. A lot of people were upset about it, but I'm like, I mean, it's just a fucking name. Eventually, you're all going to cheer his name anyway. But yeah, he's the current North American champion. What do you think, Josh?
I see some star power. That move where he was blowing the kisses on the foreheads. That's a star power move. I can't lie. I was like, I was impressed with that.
All right, we got all star. Hey, WWE know how to pick them. We got a lot of stars here.
I know, man.
They got a lot of stars here. Okay, Ricky Starks, and let's get to the big conversation here. The big one. Stephanie Vaquer, Chilean-born, first Chilean-born WWE champion ever, came to WWE a little bit after Julia did, and that was the big thing, was that she was supposed to be signed by AEW. She said, fuck that, I'm going to WWE, I don't want to be here. And she basically left them at the altar, holding the ring, and went to WWE. And the big argument right now is that, I mean, if you look at her and you look at what she's able to do, a lot of people are like, I'm fucking with her a lot better than I am Julia. And that's like the big argument right now, is who is the bigger star between her and Julia. If I had my choice, I'm obviously picking Stephanie Vaquer. She just has the look. She has pretty much everything, the entrance, all of that shit. Like just the way she looks at you. You know what I'm saying? It's just.
She got a look.
It's a good look.
Too. She got some thighs as well. We see some in-ring action. Any moves?
Let's see. Oh yeah, get the in-ring. Let's see some in-ring here.
I'm trying to find the some of the most.
It's literally all her with the title, bro.
I mean, she posts anything they post.
Oh yeah, no, go to that one. Got that one with Julia. The one with Julia. That one. On the left. Is that a video?
Nah, it looks like it's just
a picture.
Hold on, I got you right there on the right.
Ooh. Then pulls over. She's gonna do the SVB, the Stephanie Vaquer bomb. This is her finisher. I'm not really a huge fan of her finisher, but she's gonna give her two here.
Honestly, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of her finisher either. This is honestly her in-ring making her look like not a star to me. Honestly.
Again, she's great in ring. I think she's just not posting any of her fucking matches, which is making it tough to argue this. She's best friends with Julia, and I think the general conversation is that she posts a lot. Fuck.
What's that? Yeah. Go right there.
Hold on.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, here's her beating up essentially an entire group by herself.
Kicks for you. That's JC Jane.
Will WWE even let us post this?
I mean, what are they gonna do? Oh yeah, this spot's crazy. I remember this. This from Vengeance Day earlier this year in February. She said, "Fuck this." Bam. Down she goes.
I don't know.
Josh isn't sold.
He's not sold. How are you not sold on Stephanie Vaquer? What about this right here when she's wearing the green? Actually, no. Do the Booker T shit. The one that he loves.
That's what I'm trying to find. Where's she at? She posts everything.
I know she posts every goddamn thing, bruh. Oh, here it goes.
This
is what niggas love.
don't know, man. I'm not sold. Not a star. I'm sorry.
How are you not sold on Stephanie?
She's just like a little boofy, little.
What?
I mean, she looks great. The fucking horns, the fucking face, the thighs. Looks great, but I'm not sold on her as a performer. I mean, this is the new WWE. Everybody look good. Jada Parker.
So, she's definitely a bigger star over Jada Parker, who she's seen whipping her ass right here and at the top over here. Yeah, for sure.
You know, I'll leave it at Josh. Josh is the
ECW champion too.
Nah, they were in Philadelphia and she had the title. They did a show in the 2300 arena, the ECW arena.
Yeah. Come on, I mean, honestly, I just like she looks amazing. She has the props of a star, all the things, the accuments, but I just don't see the in-ring star power, which Well,
that's why she's in NXT. I don't agree, but that's why she's in NXT. She's working on it. Let's get to the next person. This is the first not a star. I'm shocked, but I shouldn't be. Knowing you, I'm shocked, but I shouldn't be. The next up, we have Saquon Sugars from Southeast DC.
Oh, he's from 37. That's where Shai Glizzy from.
He's a member of Dark State, a group in NXT. I think he has the biggest upside of this whole group, just off of just in-ring alone and swagger alone. This guy's great. And he just debuted on NXT quite recently. But as soon as you see him on the screen, like you automatically know that like he looks better and is cooler than all the other these muscles.
Oh, these niggas for sure.
Yes.
Like they was like on a football team at one point, none of them made it. So it was like, let's just start a wrestling troupe.
He just got the look, man. Like he just looks cool. Like the do-rag is part of his persona. All of that.
Like Air Forces. Yo, wrestling is lit right now.
But Saquon Sugars show the power bomb. This is they're actually in a feud with Javon Evans right now, so that's actually interesting. This is their first match on NXT from last week or 2 weeks ago. Sorry, and this is Trick and Oba fighting each other, and this is their power bomb finisher. Bro, that shit look like it fucking hurt. And Saquon gets the pin. Not those other football muscle bound niggas. Southeast DC got the pin.
Let me see that one more time.
Man, Javon's so fucking cool, man. That's the type of wrestler I was creating in WWE SmackDown back in the day. Like, is a nigga to look just like Javon Evans.
I just hate his little singlet.
Oh yeah. Well, because he used to wear like overalls for his wrestling attire, but that's like the leather version of it because all of the whole group has matching attire. But I was like, maybe you should just stuck with like a black overall, something like that. Like
I'm not a fan of it either. But you see him, he's here, he's training with Logan Paul.
Oh yeah,
ready for WrestleMania or Royal Rumble or wherever the hell he's at. But he's one of them athletes turned. Is he? Yeah, one of them athletes turned wrestlers.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at it. We got something here. We could give him a star.
Clearly he used to do a bunch of other things before he became who he is. But yeah, you gonna say he's a star?
He's a star. We'll give him that.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. A lot of niggas with dreads in NXT is very crime mob influenced.
I mean, he need to get this GoFundMe out of his fucking.
What he was trolling, and a lot of people were upset at him for trolling like that with the GoFundMe. But he was like, literally, he was injured. He was hurt. He got his knee. He hurt his ACL, I believe, and he was just like joking. And people were like, "This is fucked up." Just like, bro, I'm trying to keep my name out there while I'm off TV. You know what I mean? And I didn't see much of an issue with it. He was just being funny. He's a funny dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he called him a mumble wrestler. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
You would tell him wipe his social media before he gets popping, I'm assuming.
Hopefully. I mean, yeah. He should. He absolutely should.
He from Southeast DC. He fucking needs to, for sure. Who's next?
Shai Glizzy entrance.
Oh, that would be insane if Shai Glizzy came out at WrestleMania.
At the WrestleMania DC? Remember that?
Or he need to link with Wale. Shit.
I wonder if they know each other. I gotta text him and ask him if he knows Saquon, young Saquon Sugars. But who's next?
Who's next? We're going to the people who are debuting on WrestleMania this year.
Okay.
So these are people who their first time. We have none other than Lyra Valkyria.
Yeah. Lyra, this is like our first white person in this whole shit.
Real white.
She's the current women's Intercontinental Champion. I don't know if you know this. They introduced a women's Intercontinental Championship now.
I saw that, yeah.
Yeah, so she's
from Ireland.
Yeah, she's from Ireland. Oh, okay. Very good in the ring. Let's see.
Play a little powerbomb video.
Yeah, play that. I'm like, you gotta play that. She's great in ring. Tiny, but very, very, very impactful.
This is Ivy beating her ass for half of this, but yes. They're all tiny.
Yeah, they're both tiny. They're like midgets. Little people, I'm sorry. That was nice.
Yeah.
Again, really great entrance. She was the NXT Women's Champion for a time. Actually, she was the NXT Women's Champion for quite some time. Look at that with her head. Picked her back up, bro. She has like an engine on her, bro.
Yeah, they're going back and forth in this match, but yeah, she's the Women's Intercontinental Champion. She's pretty much one of the top girls in this division. She can go. She can go.
Becky Lynch, the biggest kind of female star in WWE, has co-signed her as well. So yeah, sky is really the limit for this one. But it all ends and begins with you, Josh Pease. What do you feel about Lyra Valkyria from what you see here?
I see some star power. I like little people when they can kind of like move around the ring. That like she looks like she. That's the thing with wrestling. Like you gotta have a look, but you also you gotta be able to wrestle.
Yeah.
And honestly, I feel like she wrestles better than Stephanie.
No fucking way. You gotta watch a Stephanie match.
I agree. Not that Stephanie's bad, but I would say
you don't even like Lyra. Meelz, what are you talking about?
I don't think that's the thing. I don't think Stephanie's bad, but I just think from with the wrestling clips I've seen, I like the way Lyra moves in the ring.
So Lyra's a star.
Yes, star.
Okay. Stamped. Star power, unlimited. Lyra Valkyria, you're a star. Next up, we did Braun last time. I can't remember.
Last time.
Yeah.
I prefer Braun, honestly. I can tell you off rip. He's a star. Comes from a long line of stars. I've been seeing the clip of him doing the spear last week. That shit was star power ish. Like that shit was actually wild. So yeah, we ain't even gotta go through it. Star.
Upload as much as as Stephanie. But yeah, I mean he was part of sparing the shit out of Speed.
Oh yeah, Speed, yep.
Bro, this Speed ain't never been right after this.
No, dead ass.
He has never been right after this, bro. His head hit the mat, bro. Like the way his head hit the mat, it literally made him forget the first 5 years of his streaming. Like literally, he's been a completely different person ever since then. But yeah, bro. I mean, nothing more needs to be said. He's actually facing off against the next guy we're gonna bring up right now on the card. Penta El Zero, or now in WWE affectionately known as Penta, the newest masked luchador in WWE. Big deal when he debuted in January. I think when we were at Netflix, Josh, they were playing his sneak preview,
type situation.
Yeah, his teasers, and he debuted the next week and literally went viral. One of the most,
Can we see some clips in wrestling?
Sure. Hold on. Let me see if we can find.
I mean, his entrance alone. There we go. That one on the left with him and Kaiser. Great match over there.
Let's see.
Is that a video? No video? There we go. Right over there.
That's a hell of a move.
Right over there. One kick for you.
Let's see. Let's see what he does here.
This is the sacrifice, I believe.
Oh shit. Oh yeah. This guy got some star power.
Man, and the fans love this shit.
Ooh.
Then he got that. Woo!
Yeah. Listen, he's one of them ones, man. He is one of the best entrances. I'm trying to find his first entrance, which was like crazy. His brother just got signed too.
Yep. And they were both in AEW, and they were in AEW for a while. They squandered them away, and now they're both in WWE. And he is the biggest. He is legitimately one of the biggest stars in WWE right now. His first WrestleMania, he just debuted in January. This is like Kurt Angle type shit. This does not happen often, bruh. I got to see this in person.
Yeah,
the mask is crazy too. I'm like, when people wrestle in masks, it's like that's a whole level of dedication.
Well, the crazy thing is, before he even debuted, they threw his stuff on the shop. They were like, essentially, like, "Yo, he's gonna, you know that he's coming anyway, so why not?" So they threw his stuff on WWE Shop. They have his mask on WWE Shop. They had a shirt. People lost their minds, man.
Sold out. It legitimately sold out as soon as they found out. And again, tapping into the Latin American market.
Exactly.
The new Rey Mysterio, possibly, that new respect there. But again, it's been a long time coming for him and his brother Phoenix, and I mean, I'm super happy for both of these guys, and he's really showing improving, because he was looking tired in AEW, and now he looks rejuvenated and he looks excited to be wrestling again. Honestly,
yeah,
he's a star. He got it.
Listen, absolutely.
That's his finisher right here.
Oh. Yeah. Damn. Yeah.
Star.
That's the finisher in the game.
Exactly. Who's he wrestling in WrestleMania?
He's wrestling Dom Mysterio, Finn Balor, and Braun Breaker in a fatal 4-way match for the IC title.
Oh shit.
Yeah. So I mean, you'll hear our predictions on that during this show, but it's a big deal. That's a big match between all
crazy. I mean, Dom Mysterio's just he's hanging on, huh?
Yeah.
Is he a star? Would you call him a star?
Mm.
Really?
No. I think he's, like, no, he's not a star. His bitch is more of a star than him. And then it's like he living off the name, the Mysterio name, but he ain't really got star power.
Wow.
I love it. I love it.
He looks like an old Peso Puma.
Oh my god. I fuck with Dom, man. Dom's cool.
I fuck with who he is. I just don't think he's a star. Like, I fuck with having a bad bitch that's a bigger star than you. Like, I fuck with living off your family name. Like, I fuck with the character of Dom, but I don't think he's a star.
Is that a world tour or your girls tour?
Yeah, exactly. What was it at Raw when he tried to get back with his ex?
Oh yeah, Rhea. Yeah.
Like, he's not a star. All his bitches better than him, or more stars, bigger stars than him.
This is him buying Liv a Rolex.
I saw this actually.
Come on, man.
I follow the jeweler.
He said he got 4 or 5 of them, man. He got 4 or 5 of them, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
And then let's get started. Huh?
I ask you, but would you buy your coworker a Rolex? But whatever. Next one, Tiffany Stratton. We might have done. Did we do Tiffany Stratton last time?
I don't think we did.
Oh, shit.
Tiffany Stratton. She is essentially currently the WWE Women's Champion, and she's going up against Charlotte Flair.
Get that the Miss TV, the Miss TV joint. I don't care much.
Well, she's going up against Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania. This is essentially old biz versus new biz. It's been pretty much one of the more controversial feuds, because essentially Charlotte has been really digging in and like running over Tiffany with her promos. So then Tiffany essentially came back a couple weeks ago and said, like, aren't you like 0-3 in marriages because you've gotten divorced so many times? So she really went like kind of like off the cuff. They do not seemingly like each other.
This her floating in the air. No, go.
Bro, no, go up. Go up.
To that the right.
Right, yeah.
So this is her
fight. This is from like London, or were they in Paris?
Yeah.
That's her. She is great in ring, man. Like, there's no doubt about it that she is one of the more athletic, like, women in the company. I think her being a babyface, a good guy, has been kind of like, I don't know if she's ready for that. But like, regardless of any of it, like she's that one in the ring. Like she's really great. That's her, Trish Stratus.
Trish Stratus co-signed. She's very, at times, seemingly Sabrina Carpenter coded. I'm clearly a big fan of her from like the outfits and stuff like that. Got a Rhea Ripley co-sign back when they were both champions. Rhea Ripley's no longer a champion. So yeah, Josh? What's the verdict here? Do you need to see more?
Sure. I gotta see some more in ring. I don't know. Like I think, yeah. Let's see what this is about.
Ooh,
yes. Former gymnast. You know, it's a strong.
She got good height on that power bomb.
Man, yeah, she good. She's a star. I'm not mad at her.
Can we see the best moonsault, the prettiest moonsault ever? Do we have a picture of that?
Oh,
there we go. This one right here. And boom. All right, here we go. Here we go. Prettiest moonsault ever. An amazing finish.
Oh yeah, she's a star. Honestly, she's just fluid. That's the thing that like comparing her to what was the girl Stephanie? Come on, like she got like it's fluidity. It's about like how you can move in the ring and like she got crazy legs too.
You're not being respectful right now, Josh. She was there at Netflix. We was literally right next to her.
Who, Tiffany?
Yeah.
When?
When we were in the press room, when we were in like the when you first walked in, she was like literally right next to us.
Damn, I should see. But that's the thing. She kind of just looked like every white girl in America. The good and the bad thing, honestly. That's why I was kind of hesitant on like star, but she can move in the ring. She looked good, but it's just like, all right.
So
I'm gonna stamp this a star. She's a star.
It's like a tentative star, but you'll give her a passing grade. She got like a B-.
Yeah, no, she B-. She's good. It looked like she's good for the league. Like you know, it's like you ever seen a player and you're like, good for league. Like I'm trying to think of like an NBA player currently, like an Austin Reeves.
Yeah,
like he looked like he just worked at Kinko's, but he's good. He's good for the league. Like he should be a star. He's a star.
Oh my god!
Tiffany Stratton, Austin Reeves comparison. I mean, where else can you get that but on the A show? And let's get to our final person here.
We don't have an Instagram for him. Jacob Fatu does not have an Instagram.
Probably.
Huh?
He doesn't have an Instagram. That's weird.
I mean, he probably because he's been in jail so much that he just.
I've seen him though. I've definitely seen him. Like I'm familiar with who he is.
We saw him at Netflix. He came out during the Roman.
Yeah,
match.
Yeah.
Jacob Fatu from the Bay Area. He hits his Yadana means every promo. Make sure he hits like 3 of them. I'm mad we can't hear the promos because that's like the strongest kind of piece of his game here. But this is some of his in ring here. He's just. If I had to compare him to somebody, he's like Brock Lesnar in terms of stature, just destroying niggas.
Yeah,
just a big motherfucker. He's Jey Uso's cousin.
Yeah. Oh, that's a hell of a move.
There you go.
You kind of get light too. You be jumping off the ropes and shit.
Yeah, he does like the moons. He also does the prettiest moonsault ever as well. This is from SmackDown about a week and a half ago.
No,
when we're recording this, Meelz, it'll be a week and a half, or from where?
Just be a week. It'll just be a week. This is literally from Friday. So yeah, he's facing off against LA Knight for the U.S. title at WrestleMania this year.
LA Knight's not a star, by the way.
How could you tell?
Corny.
Here's just Braun Breaker staring down. You can tell that there's some star quality here. You don't even.
We were
good because this is like when a Phantom sees a 300C. And that's why I'm gonna just go out and say I don't think Jacob's a star.
Wow. Okay.
He's an enforcer. He's good for behind the scenes. Good for be muscle, but I don't think he's a star.
I mean, yeah. I mean, honestly, I see a lot more upside in Braun Breaker. I think a lot of people look at Jacob and they're like, "Oh, he's the next Roman. He could be the next Roman in that sense." And I'm like, I don't see it. I really don't see it. I think just like, not trying to be like mean or anything, but it's like the look is just is top one to me. Like the look just isn't there, bro. It's like
it's a little sloppy.
Yeah, like the sloppy look. A lot of niggas online love that. I'm like, nah, I like my niggas to be like you look at Roman, he's clean cut. You look at Cody, he's clean cut, man. You know what I'm saying? These are like, clean cut niggas, man. You know what I mean?
No, that's a good point. I don't know. I just think, in wrestling, it's all about like, it's the look. The look, it starts there, and his look is a little off.
But he's from the Bay. He's from the Bay. I respect that, but
Josh was like,
it's cool. I mean, it's a cool little storyline and good cultural additive to what he's doing. But like, I look at some of the guys you showed earlier, the NXT guys. Like, what's the guy? Javon. Yeah, like I would rather him represent the hip hop, if that's what, because that's what it feels like with this Jacob Fest. It's like you got a little hip hop twist to you. Like you're gonna be the guy saying out of the mean, but no, I'd rather this Javon dude. He feels more authentic to that. Or fucking what's the other guy you guys showed me? The Sugar.
Ricky saying, Shaquan Sugars, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no star for Jacob.
Damn. Well, I mean, I think all in all, for us to have been doing this, we did like 10 people, only 2 of them not making it. That's a lot better than last time. Like the hit rate is a lot better than last time. Are you more impressed this time?
I'm more impressed. I think WWE is figuring it out as far as just like what people want and what people gravitate towards. And the people being like the casual fan like me. I think, you guys are invested. So you guys have seen the story from the beginning to, where it's at now. So it's like a little more buy-in. But if I'm to just turn on Raw on a random Monday, I want to be enthralled instantly. And I think they figured out that just that formula for, creating those superstars. Yeah.
Well, Josh, thank you so much for joining us again. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of vitriol, anger, and excitement from us doing this segment again. But, we always love to have you back on the A Show. Whenever you want to do it, man, come back on.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm looking forward to WrestleMania. It's funny. I only really tap in for like the bigger events, but WrestleMania this year feels electric. Like Travis Scott's going to be there. Fucking people have been hitting me up about it all week, I feel like. So it's like, it's starting to I don't know, like there's something with this Netflix. I mean, I don't know if it's just a Netflix thing. Again, I'll point back to TKO and that when that deal happened. But now with the accessibility of Netflix, it just feels like it's everywhere. You can't really miss it.
Yeah. And again, they have inundated WWE into literally everything. They're on red carpets, they're on TV shows, they're doing their own things. They were at the Pat McAfee thing the other day. They're inundating themselves into so many things now, and it really feels like, again, how it was when UFC kind of first popped off in the mainstream. And it feels like WWE's going back into that mainstream again with this TKO thing. And now we have the stars to boot. And one thing that was cool is that we showed you a lot of people. There was only 2 white people the whole time. It was literally all people from different races and things like that.
I'm glad you caught that out because it's way more diverse. You look at even just when it's just white wrestlers, there's wrestlers from Ireland, there's wrestlers from fucking, what's the dude? It's not Roman Reigns. What's the other guy? Seth Rollins. Where's he from?
Seth Rollins. He's from Iowa, but he's he's got Armenian or something in him.
It's one of these guys that's from. He might be Irish. Is there another Irish wrestler?
Sheamus?
No, not Sheamus.
Oh, Gunther?
Gunther, yeah, German.
Gunther,
He's German.
Yeah. Austrian.
Yeah, it's what the fuck? And just the way they present themselves, it's something about it, man. So I like the way who is it? Triple H is running everything now, right?
The funniest thing is that when we met Gunther at Netflix, you kind of I don't know if you noticed that you did this, but you did this. You sized them up because you guys are kind of the same height. You sized them up
Oh, you know what it was? It was also just damn, he's we're the same height, but he's big.
Yeah,
we're not the same height. He's actually taller than me, but he's big. It's presence.
Yeah,
it's the suit, the belt. It's you could tell they really put. That's the thing about wrestling, man. They're really athletes. They're not just out here just dicking around in the ring, fake fighting. Like they're really athletes. You could tell like just the time and what they're putting into their bodies. Like it really is.
Meelz, pull up Adam Cole real quick before we get out of here. Pull up Adam Cole because you said like they're real athletes. Pull up Adam Cole.
This was going so well and so positive before.
Real quick, just pull up Adam Cole because I love that you said that they look like athletes and they look, you know what I'm saying? They look, you know, presentable, and we talk about presentability. Pull up Adam Cole before we get out of here.
They're wearing suits in the David Stern era.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Dom don't wear suits. He wear off-white in gallery department, and
he's looking crazy. Fucking Cody. When Cody wears his suits, I'm always dying off that. Like,
come on, man. Adam Cole.
He looks like he actually works at the gas station.
I did not sign up for this.
Who is this? Honestly, we look like we got the same physique, honestly. Like with him with this butt right here, I'm like, man, I halfway work out. Like you should be working out for sure. Like
my God. All right.
Come on, man. I just had the one at the top. One more picture. The one at the very top, man. Come on, man. This one right here at the very top. Come on, man. We talk about people look like athletes, man. Come on now.
I mean, I still look like me if I had a title.
It's great.
All right. Thank you, Josh, for joining the show.
Buddy, go back to that picture real quick.
Wait. I got you.
Because the first comment shows you that just what I'm trying to get across.
Oh, my God.
You look great, man. People say that when you don't really look great. Like, you look great. Like, that's what you say to a nigga that's like been clean off drugs for like a couple months. You're like, damn, you look great. Like, no, you don't.
And what's funny is that's a nigga from WWE.
I know, that's why it stood out because of that. Like, and then look at this nigga. Now, look at now he old as shit, but he looks great. Like, come on. Like,
oh my God.
All right. Comment by him. Like,
and if you're listening to the audio, not the video of this, that was Tommaso Ciampa that said you look great, man.
That was low-key shady of him. He was like, you look great. That's kind of like, nigga, you need to get in the gym like me. Like, you see how I look, how you look, it's different.
Oh my God, this was great. Thank you again, Josh. Appreciate you so much for being on here. We're gonna I'm crying, bro. We're gonna take a quick break and we'll be back with the main events. We're gonna be predicting the main events of WrestleMania with our guy Bans. He's gonna be on right after this. So thank you guys for listening to the A Show WrestleMania Prediction Party Part 2. See you in a second. Peace.
John, I didn't expect to say this. Maybe you're right. Maybe I was chosen. But you know who chose me? They chose me. Can you say the same, John Cena? Or was it one guy in an office who chose you who's not here anymore and we don't talk about it? Oh yeah, let's go ahead. Strip everything away from me, right? I don't know who I am. Who the hell knows who they are? I know this. I'm Cody Rhodes. I'm a wrestler like my father before me. And if anybody is a company creation, it's you, John Cena, and not me. Gosh, everyone's so terrified of you on the mic. I'm not, because I know you've got more dick in that promo than you do in your jorts. You want to make fun of me for appearing like I'm 16 taking public speaking lessons? Well, you're the one who hangs out with Zac Efron and wishes he was 16. And what a softball Thank you, John. What a softball you've thrown me by saying you created all of this. You created me. Here's what you created, pal. You created a lot of disenfranchised fans who made it easy for me to pack up and go elsewhere and say, hey, look at me. Don't act like you cleaned up your room before you left and went to Hollywood, John. Don't act like you left WWE better than you found it. And while we're at it, there are two of us standing in this ring right now. And what I'm about to ask you might punch a giant hole in all that logic that you just threw up. And it's quite simple. Between you and I, which one of us sold out to The Rock?
All right, we're finally here. Main events. We had to call the guy back. My guy, Eddie Bands. You're always in our main event, segments on here. You have some controversial opinions that our Discord loves to hate. But we had to get you on here because CM Punk is finally back in the main event. And we've always had conversations about CM Punk, and we've always said when he comes back, we got to get you back on the show, and now we're here. We're here again.
I love this tradition. I was so excited when I got the text. This got to be like 3 years running, maybe
3 years running. You saw Cody lose, you saw Cody win, and now we got to see. We got to talk about Cody again.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Don't worry. I have thoughts, as you can imagine.
Oh God.
But nah, man. Geek to talk to you guys. Happy to see y'all. Happy to see y'all smiling, living it up. And either one of y'all making the trip?
I'm not making it this year. I should. I'm not. It's literally a hop, skip, and a jump away. But I was like, I'm gonna just stay home, man. Vegas is too mixy for me, bro.
I got offered a ticket from the homie, but it was like, you got to go to Vegas and live in Vegas for a week, and it was just like, I just wasn't in the cards. NBA playoffs start this week too. So,
but what people don't understand is that like too much time in Vegas is really depressing. Like Vegas is a very depressing place to be. I don't even drink or do any of the vices. Like I just eat, and I would just be bored on day 2. You know what I'm saying? Like I felt like Dallas was super fun when we went to Dallas for Mania. It was fun because there was food, there was stuff to do during the day, there was like unexplored areas to go to. I love the fucking malls out there. Like we had a lot of really cool shit to do. Vegas, it is the amusement park. It is the Disney. Like everything there is, everywhere you turn is sensory overload. So I don't know. Good luck to people that are doing that though.
Yeah, not to be like consummate millennial, but it's so corporate now. Like Mania, the thought of Mania is so corporate. I mean, WWE in general is, and I know that's like a result of their success, but that alone kind of like, I don't want to be around like a city of commercial. Like, so
that's what Vegas is though, man. That's all it is. It's all corporate.
And so it was like, nah, it wasn't worth the bang for the buck. But I'm excited to watch the event and talk about these 3 matches for sure.
Listen, this Mania card, I mean, we've gone through it for the most part all the way up to this point. It is stacked. They got everybody who's major is going to be on the card. If you had to pick something outside of the main event that you're looking forward to, Bands, what would you say you're looking forward to outside of these 3 main events? We're talking about Jey Uso. We're talking about Jey Uso and Gunther. We're going to talk about Punk, Reigns, and Rollins, and we're going to talk about Cody and John Cena. But outside of those 3 matches, like, is there anything that you're like that caught your eye that you're looking towards?
Always happy to see Dom. Always happy to see Dom. I don't think there's any chance in the world he gets the IC title, but always happy to see him and let him get some shine. My guy from SAC, Jacob Fatu, obviously. I'm happy to see him and think he's a shoe-in for a victory. Logan, terrible guy, great wrestler.
I feel like we said that like for 3 years.
That's like a lot of our favorites.
Yeah, like it's always got to be like a begrudging, like, like
why we know what we're getting, and he's got the perfect opponent to give us fireworks as well. Yeah. And that's like a perfect. It's still daytime. You won't see the daytime in a week. You can kind of see it match where it's a fun 15 minutes. And I'll say, Jade and Trinity.
Allegiant don't have no retractable.
Nah, they have like one of those joints like SoFi, like you could see outside, but it's a dome in essence. But I'm excited to see Jade. I did kind of laugh at the idea of like this is the first individual women's match with no stipulations and no title for this long. Yeah, that's not an accomplishment, buddy. That's like y'all fucked up. Please don't tout that on Saturday night.
Yeah, no, it's stuff like that doesn't need to be touted. That stuff's for people online who are trying to keep checks and balances of what they want to be miserable about moving forward. So that stuff shouldn't be like touted or anything of the rather.
Because remember the story was, there's no individual black men's, but it's like, okay, so what about the black women that are doing? It's like, should we celebrate them as well? Like, I don't know. Like, a lot of the black males are in tag teams. So like, what do you want us to do there? So like, I'm not sure, but let's get to these main events and let's kick this one off with Jay versus Gunther, World Heavyweight Championship match. Jay shocking the world back in February at the Royal Rumble, eliminating John Cena to become the Royal Rumble winner. And we've said this before on the show. Like, this has been with Jay a 5-year story that's being told here. It started when he was a right hand man for Roman Reigns, continued on against his defection from the bloodline and into the main event Jey Uso era. People love him. But what we've been noticing after his win is that he has become and had to shoulder really the blame of what people will call kind of just like the downfall of wrestling or the downfall of WWE or the downfall of Triple H's booking, because get this, the popular guy won the big match finally. And he was going through that. And, a lot has been said, a lot has been going on, but this has been built up as David versus Goliath, truly. In a way that really Sammy and Gunther wasn't last year, because that match, remember, was just made up in like 2 weeks. Like it was literally like, oh, it's here now. This has been really Gunther's most prolonged storyline, I feel, since he's been the main roster. And this has been Jay's probably most important storyline since he's been the singles, other than outside of the umbrella of Roman. And now we have this match between these two happening now. There's been blood, there's been crying, there's been yeeting, and now it's finally coming to a head at WrestleMania. Did we confirm Saturday yet? At the time of this recording, we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
I think we're sure about the.
I'm pretty sure. Listen, I'm pretty sure it's gonna open one of them damn shows. Like, I don't see this closing a show. I don't even see this. I mean, it could be in the middle of the card, but why would you do that? I could see it very much opening the show. Everyone, we all kicking off the show doing one of them. I feel like we've talked about Jey Uso and his kind of story. Gunther itself, man, I don't know if it's like, I would say his development from last year. I mean, last year he loses the Intercontinental Championship. This year he's the world champion. I mean, that's kind of a world of difference in terms of like how he's elevated his character. And it seemed like a foregone conclusion after he lost that belt with that record-setting reign that eventually he was going to win the world championship. As a world champion himself, though, I think people have been critical in terms of like, he hasn't had that many title defenses. He hasn't had that many things. He hasn't been able to look strong. I saw a couple things. I'm like, oh, he's facing Otis and Tozawa and all these other people on the roster, and he doesn't really look strong in any kind of way. What do you guys say to people like that, or at least like how Gunther's year or last couple months been built alongside Jey Uso has been?
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the real valid criticisms of the last year of the WWE is just like not quite having a pure heel anywhere. And even like we're having like these like anti-hero type heels where like, oh, Roman's a heel, but like he's the most popular dude here. I think this last 3 months we got the biggest heel turns obviously in the industry, but we got like true heels back on the show. And it weirdly starts with Gunther. Like it weirdly starts with him where he was kind of in that middle ground. And people were worried about this buildup being slow. And then, I guess you could say it started at Saturday Night Main Event with their match and him kind of running him down that week. But we've got to see more of that from him. And obviously the whole thing with Jimmy the last week. And we got like a bad guy here. We got a true white meat baby face and we got a true bad guy, which is what I appreciate and which I think we needed from Gunther. Like, he's probably not really ever going to work as a true face. And this is kind of what he needs to be, that brutal heel who's just beating the hell out of people and talking shit to everybody. And we got that. And there's a lot of complaints about this buildup, but I've enjoyed it. And I think it's been a gradual, smart buildup to this match. I do think it'll be a good opener for Saturday. It would be fun to see. Hopefully they get enough time to make a great match out of it. But look, man, I've enjoyed it. I was on the island with you guys at Rumble. Like, the right guy won. Especially when I seen the Final Four in there. He was the one who needed it the most. He got the rub from Cena. Cena gave him his moment. The old fashioned handshake.
Yeah,
Jay's the most popular dude on the roster. Like you gotta give him that moment. It only makes sense.
He also got to be the person that Cena didn't turn heel on, and that's important too. He's the last person that Cena gave the rub to before he turned heel 3 weeks after. You know what I'm saying? Like, to your point, like, you're right, Ben's like, it's been a challenge to get anybody in WWE to be severely booed. I think only Solo Sikoa is the only one that manages to get consistent boos, and maybe Kevin Owens. But like Braun Breaker, they tried with him, even with Jay, and he was still popular then. But I think that, again, with Jay and this whole build, and really to speak to Gunther's reign thus far, he's an attraction. Yeah. That's how he should have been. That's how he was that as the IC champion. And he's continued to be that, and they've made him even a bigger attraction. It was always a foregone conclusion that he was going to win this title, and Triple H was going to give him the title. It was just a matter of like what it was going to be after. Like, I'm not going to say that his matches with Damian Priest failed. I'm not going to say that any of the matches where he was getting heat on himself by beating up smaller guys is bad. He is not meant to be liked or meant to be cool. He is not trying to be cool or liked, and I think that's why I enjoy his character so much. The one thing that has been the most disturbing to me about this whole thing is that people are acting like Gunther is being sacrificed or raked through the coals because he has to put over Jey Uso or have a match with Jey Uso. I'm pretty sure he is not looking at it like that. Wrestling, I feel like fans are very binary when it comes to criticizing or analyzing wrestling. It is always about the person that I like should always have the best match, and they should be made to look the best, and they should have the best. They should always face these people at all times and never lose. When really, in reality, part of the wrestling is the storytelling, and what wrestlers love about it is the fact that they get to make someone else. You will have a long time in this business if you make someone else look good. And I think that is what's Gunther's biggest challenge. It's not against the Roman. It's not against the Brock. It's not against the Cena or Cody or anyone. He gets to make Jey Uso into that next level. And I think, to me, that's the biggest indictment of what he was brought on to be. And I think that will be his legacy, is that he did this with Sammy and he did this with Jay. And that's why I think that he's going to give up that title at WrestleMania.
Sammy's a great example. And you're right. It speaks to the tradition of the business. And it's an honor to kind of be entrusted with, like, you're a star maker. You are a star, but you're also a star maker in this sense. He's going to look great in this match. Yeah. I'm very curious to see what this match is. A lot of talk about Jay's moveset and all this stuff, but he's worked long main event style matches and been great in them. Yeah. They'll do something here. He's going to look great in this match. I think it seems like we're all aligned. Jay's going to win. This story is for Jay to win and be crowned finally and be given his run. But he'll look great in doing it. He'll look great in putting him over. And it is a true testament of what everybody upstairs thinks of him, is like, yo, beating him is an accomplishment of this level, and it can only happen on WrestleMania. And then the person who does it is now in for a run, and they're a star. Yeah, that's the biggest salute you can really get. Like, beyond, obviously, Taker's a huge fan and always calling and shouting him out, but like beyond that, this is the best way we can showcase you on the biggest stage, especially if you're a heel. The point of being a heel is to lose. Yell at everybody till the babyface beats you. That's the whole point of that.
Yeah,
and this is the culmination of that.
That's what I don't understand about the complaints against Gunther, is like it is his final form to lose.
I mean, to be real with you put him up against any of the real top heels of like last 25 years. You talk about Triple H, JBL, I guess Jeff Jarrett in a sense if you TNA. But like a lot of these top heels, and we haven't had one really like that. Like I love the explanation. Like, this is truly like the bad guy doesn't really want to be liked. We saw him as we're taping this, we saw him on Raw. Dude comes out in the most like, buttoned up red tie, hair slicked. Like, I thought it was like, did he slick it more than usual? Like, what the like he clearly understands this business enough to know how contrasting he has to appear to his opponent to really set in that visual of like, yo, this is what we're getting, this is what we're buying, and he's the top heel in the business right now.
And what I think is cool that he understands is that, like, he understands how small that voice is, or those voices are, that are like, why did you change your name from Walter? Why aren't you beating everyone? Why, like, he understands that there's just such a small amount of what his character is and who he is as a character that he does not play to that. There's too many people through the internet.
And I think it's because he respects the business a lot. You see all them clips of him on like LFG and shit, and he's like, he's out talking smack to like the kids. He's talking to Undertaker. He was like, "Why'd you let him go out like this?" Like, you know, he's like,
that got me. I don't know if you guys are LFG high, but I am. And the fact that he just was bold, and again, this show is as scripted as anything else they're doing, but the fact that he ran Taker down, I was like, all right.
Yeah. And Taker was like, hold on, but also like, you're right. Like he kind of, and I think that's Taker having respect for this man, understanding the respect that he has and the sacrifice he has for this business, to be honest with you. Again, this is, if you read any of the early reports about Gunther when he was Walter, he did not want to come to America. He did not want to live in America. He did not want to, he was like, I'm fine. NXT UK is the most that I'll do. And then NXT UK folded. And everything that I guess he was owed for making the sacrifices that he did, he got back in tenfold.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's the respect that he has for the business is really why he understands this and why he positions himself in the way that he does. This feud has been, I mean, the Jimmy Uso, the sacrifice of Jimmy Uso, in a sense, I think was really the game-changing moment for the feud. It took a little bit of building, took a little bit to get there, but it eventually got there. And I think what we're seeing now is the Jimmy Uso who looks poised to take this championship, despite all of his, he plays the calm, cool demeanor, but he has some sort of vulnerabilities and second guessing himself and all that other stuff like that. But he's coming out the other side more fit to be a champion, because this is what y'all wanted. Everyone complained about the eating and all the other stuff like that. But this whole program was to get him to the point of where he's taken seriously as a competitor to the title. And I think it was mission accomplished.
I would never ever understand how people were so cool with him in October, taking it from Braun all the way through, complaining about his positioning on the show. And as soon as he gets a main event slot, it is not okay. It's crazy. But what I want to speak to before we get to the next match is after Jay wins. We all agree that he's going to win, but after Jay wins, I just feel it in my heart that Sammy's gonna turn on him, and he's gonna take the top from Jay. I really feel like that's the next angle to the story, is the breakup between Jay and Sammy happening. I think that in the absence of KO, you need kind of like that kind of heel, that Canadian heel. You got to have him. But I think that, again, the story is too good for Sammy to come back and say, "Hey man, you won the title. Let me get the first shot at it." And then Jay gives him that shot, and then it's pandemonium from there. Like, I think that's the next big heel shoe to drop, because a lot of things are changing on the show already. We've got a couple people that are kind of going towards being faces now. Braun being one of them, going towards being like a tweener face type thing. We got to kind of rebalance the scales. I feel like Sami Zayn is going to be that next heel turn, and it's going to be against Jey Uso. I can't see him losing it to anybody but him right now.
I like that a lot. Yeah, I like that a lot, and in part because Sammy's kind of like the top of my man. He's one of them last guys that needs to get it. He needs to touch the gold at least once, you know. Yeah. And what better way than this thing that they built on their own and wasn't really supposed to be what it was, and they made it this great moment for each other, and like what it and you feel like, look, Jay kind of gets to call a little bit of that shot too, and Sammy does too. It's like, who would he rather have spend the summer wrestling with, you know what I mean?
Yes. You could argue this was supposed to be Sammy's run, and Jey Uso's popularity really, like a wave, kind of like swooped in and overtook it. Yeah, because like
you have Jimmy
2 years ago. This was Sammy, and
it was asking for Sammy to be in the match, but it's like you give Sammy and Jimmy come out as his brothers to celebrate him at Mania when he wins, and then you have the turn. Then you have the prestige, as Christopher Nolan says, and then he changes everything. But that's my thoughts going into that. But next match we got on the docket: Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins. CM Punk's first WrestleMania main event. Roman Reigns' 11th. This is what, Seth's fourth, I think, WrestleMania main event.
This is
Does Brock and Roman count?
Does
Yes.
Brock and Roman count?
Okay.
Brock and Roman
All right,
does
so
count.
then this would be his third, I guess. Let me ask you a question. How did we get here? How about that? How did we get here?
We got to go back 10 years. We got to go back 10 years to this.
How did we get?
You know, it's funny because there's so much smart work happening here that like we can go. Obviously, there's politicking, there's working, and I think I'll always believe Punk coming back was with a handshake. That like, yo, I got a headline of Mania.
Yes.
We got to make this happen.
Yeah.
I believe I said that on the show when he came back. I said he's
And so it got delayed a year with the injury, obviously. So that's part of it, Punk. And what I respect from what they've done with the build is I thought it was going to go OD snarky and it was going to be like, okay, Kobe and okay, Joe and okay, Phil. And they're going to be like, they're going to do that. It's really been like yo, you keep messing with my matches and I don't like you and I want to fight you. And you got my manager and that's actually what it's like a wrestling beef. And they really could have took it left and made it worse. And I'm happy they didn't because it makes sense on paper here. But yeah, how did we get here?
I want to take it a little bit further because there's got to be a reason why these three. There is no point in my mind that would have thought this match was happening at WrestleMania before we got to all the directions that we were supposed to go.
Yeah,
I truly think it was either supposed to be Punk versus Rollins or Punk versus Roman.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how all three of them got here, but I do think there's a little political play in all of this, in making sure that this gets here. And it's not a bad thing, respect the game. Austin did it, everybody, you on top, you're going to do it. But I do think there's a political play in how we got to this match because I don't think anyone saw this match coming. Justin, go ahead.
Let me just say, I don't know nothing, all right? I don't know nothing, all right?
Yeah.
I know absolutely nothing. If I was to say that Drew is kind of the odd man out here, y'all will believe me, right? So that's all I'm going to say. The Drew McIntyre is probably kind of the odd man out here. And I think that politics. I do believe that I've heard that it was at one point Punk and Seth and that, it broke down to just the triple threat, which I think is probably the better option because if you would have just been left with one match, somebody would have been left out. If I'm Seth, I'm just speaking hypothetical here. I don't know nothing. If I'm Seth, I'm saying y'all owe me for what I did last year. And I ate a lot of shit last year and he did. And I'm not coming up off of it.
Can I tell you what I think can I tell you the reason why I think this happened? I think there was a scenario where Roman isn't the main event, and that shit is weird.
Yeah. But weird for him, but also like you would probably be shocked.
You would look at Roman differently. You would like, oh, he moved me on the card.
Yeah, you would be shocked to believe of what Roman might have hypothetically who he wanted to face, but it might not. It probably was not the guy that is not in this match. So like, like you would be shocked like that he would be cool with probably any of the people.
Because listen, what it was leading up towards. So there's to me, there's a lot of changing around things because this triple threat match, first of all, it's like the first triple threat match. I know we just talked about this. It's just a triple threat match. There's no stakes. Yeah. There's no number one contendership. There's no nothing. There's not even a ladder.
It's actually a fatal four-way because the fourth participant is always the drama. It's always the drama with these three.
Listen, you showman.
Yeah, the fourth participant is always the drama. So you get that. We're gonna get that.
It did really feel going into this, however, that Drew was going to be a part of this because he was targeting all of Roman's men. He was targeting Jey Uso, he was targeting Jimmy Uso, he was targeting Sami Zayn, and then at some point something changed, and Damian Priest is now his, who he's targeting now. It looks just very strange, but ultimately, I look at I see this match as a Roman political play of I need to be in the main event somehow. Not being in the main event is not a. We have two of them. I got to be in at least one of them.
We're talking about two of the biggest politickers, maybe all three, if Dwayne doesn't count. We're talking about the three biggest politickers who are there day to day, right?
Yeah.
All three know their worth. They fully know their worth.
Yeah, and Seth obviously he was Hunter's guy. His story has been told from NXT and him being the first NXT, blah, blah, blah. And Roman is Roman, right? And they can do whatever they want, and they have their own writers, and they have all this stuff like they. So we know what we're talking about. I always like the turning point to me was the Netflix match because that was such a definitive finish to like, I'm sick of this dude, he's sick of me. Boom, I pin him 1, 2, 3, like clean middle of the ring. It was like a super finish too, like
right.
You roll through, you do, and it was always like, okay, are they done? No, they're gonna roll through it. They're gonna. So clearly, like all of these guys pushed for something. They wanted to be at the top of the card, and it was like, I think it all falls back to what you said too. Well, Roman has to headline, right? Yeah. He's not wrestling Cody again. Yeah. The Rock's not coming. He has to do something. Okay,
I blame The Rock. There you go. There you go. There it is right there.
There is an element of that where, like, and again, hypothetical.
I think if The Rock does wrestle, this becomes a lot more clear, right? Like it's Rock, Roman, Punk, Rollins, and everyone's got it nice and figured out.
Yeah, and it doesn't main event, but like I think if you're in a hypothetical setting, you could say that Punk, Seth, and the cage was meant to be the 1-1, and Mania was meant to be the rubber match. I think this is always gonna go 3. If you think about it, all the Seth's matches always go 3. They always go 3. Edge went 3, Cody went 3, Riddle went 3, I believe. I think they always go 3. He always does 3 matches. He's the one guy in the company that he'll always break even with somebody before the final match. But I think that again, to Mills' point of it being a political play, he has to be in it. When it comes down to it, it has to be Roman facing off against these two guys. But the thing is that it doesn't really feel random, right? Because these are the two guys that were obviously more affected by Punk leaving than anybody. Mm-hmm. Punk leaves, Roman's career is affected for the rest of his until COVID. From 2014, 15 all the way up to 2020, Punk, as much as you like, again, creative notwithstanding, that interview did more damage to Roman Reigns in the short term that led to the long term than anything else that Vince McMahon could have did to him. Because if that doesn't come out,
a lot of make Roman look strong.
Yeah, if that doesn't come out, a lot of the finishes we're not questioning at that time. It becomes a small voice, but because people love Punk so much, it becomes a big voice. I don't know when they're waiting to use that Joker. I don't know when they're waiting to talk about that. It is a legal thing. They'll probably never bring it up again. But that affected him. Seth leaving or Punk leaving, Seth becoming the guy. That's another big deal. But on the outset of it, it's Punk's politicking and his creative that got them in the main roster in the first place. Mm. So like it's basically Punk facing off against his sons, if you really want to look at it that way. And I think that is the Punk brings it up so perfectly in a promo he did when they were overseas, where he said, if it wasn't for me, y'all wouldn't even be here. And I was like, I'm glad he said that. I don't know if they're gonna go towards it. I'm not mad at the Heyman angle. I saw somebody say, "Oh, the biggest match on the card is them fighting over a man." I'm just like, no, like this is an influential dude to both of these guys. And now Seth has put himself in the picture of saying, these people don't care about you. Like I would spare you from taking the blows. I would spare you from getting put through a table. Would they? And that's the question. And again, like there's a psychological aspect of it. That's what I said. The fourth player in this, I'm not gonna say it's the drama. It's a fatal four-way because Paul Heyman is the fourth person in this match. Mm-hmm. That people are severely underselling of what he's gonna do. Who will he be loyal to in the end? I think that these segments they've had between the three have been great. I think the Tiffany Charlotte thing kind of overtook kind of the most important segment. That was the only thing people talked about on Friday. But again, you have Roman, who I believe, and I'll say this: since Roman's come back, me and Mills had a conversation with, he's gonna be full babyface, he's gonna be this, he's gonna be that. Mills was like, I don't know, and I had to like look at Mills and be like, yo, I have to eat crow because he came back and he was the same damn nigga. He was the same person he was when he left. He is not really barring apologizing to Jay, which he had to because at the end of the day, I feel like he had to apologize to Jay because Jay was more popular than him, was getting bigger reactions.
Did he really apologize? I think he just said yeet.
Yeah. That's his way of apologizing and confirming that. That's his way. Like you're never gonna get a full apology from this guy. Yeah. But he doesn't acknowledge anyone else in the same way that he acknowledged Jay. So I'll just say that was his way of mending the fence. You know what I'm saying? And to WWE's benefit, I'm glad that they actually broke them apart. And they did it clean, and they haven't worked together since. But with Roman, I get so upset because he has still not faced the reckoning of what he has done to these people for 4 years, even though everyone else has the trauma. Drew has the trauma. That's why I thought it was a shoo-in that we get Roman and Drew. It would have made the most sense. This is the guy who he's caused the most pain throughout this whole thing, barring KO and Cody and everybody. So if he does lose Paul Heyman, he needs to lose him, because that's the only way, to me, he can become kind of like the big baby face that they kind of want to position him to be. His shirts now say, "You're a tribal chief," our tribal chief. It's not original. It's our tribal chief now. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to bring the people into it, but I look at him on these promos and I'm like, this is the same person. He was doing 2021 Bloodline shtick on SmackDown last week, where I'm just like, bro, why is he a heel again? Like, I'm why he's healing again when he needs to be a babyface in this, and they need to be having kind of like every characterization here is shade is gray. I don't think there's any heel or any face in this match, and I think that's interesting because we're all cheering for assholes. All three of them are assholes. Roman is an asshole. Seth is an asshole. Punk is an asshole. There is really no one in this match that is cheerable. Am I tripping?
Or you could cheer for all of them. Or you could cheer for all of them. To be honest with you, I feel like because all of them are just like, I mean, if I had to rank who to cheer for, I would probably it's Punk, Roman, then Seth. Seth feels like the ordinary, you know.
He's always third man out. He's always
But it is what it is.
Probably why he wins, right? It was probably like why they do the job. But like,
do we want to get into that? Like,
I kind of want to touch on what you said. Like, all three of their characters being just like arrogant pricks.
Yeah,
it goes back to them being the sons of Punk. Not to give him all the credit, but like he did kind of usher in that character and that being the guy. Yeah. And then Seth did it his own way, and Roman obviously capitalized in his own way and really took it to different heights. But it is kind of funny, like it's like when you have a face match and like the crowd's kind of like, I'm a little worried about that. But the thing is, they're such big, humongous characters and guys that people will have their rooting interest either way. We've seen it in the promos and in the kind of the battles they've had. It does kind of, this is the new era WWE main eventer though, right? Like this kind of, they're all in kayfabe, but it's this blurry brand of kayfabe where I might mention some real world shit that happened 3 years ago, but we're also going to talk about our wrestling storyline, and it's going to be this blend.
Right.
But the thing is, like, they can go. Like, they can all go in the ring. They can all do similar style matches. Like, I don't love triple threat matches by nature. It's a lot of like, I threw you over the ropes and now me and him wrestle, and then now you throw me over the ropes and me and him wrestle. But I think like if anybody's gonna figure it out, it's these dudes.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for this match. I wouldn't say the biggest match to me. We're gonna talk about it has to be the biggest match.
Yeah.
But I'm super excited, and I think there's so many storyline ramifications that will come off that. Like there's so many different ways it can turn, and the Paul Heyman of it all and everything. I am curious what the hell they're all doing on the other side of this, though. Like everybody's kind of just shooting Punk to be in the title scene with Cena and Cody afterwards. Who knows with Seth? And then Roman, like same thing. Who knows? Like it could be a dozen things. It could be nothing. One of them could come back from Money in the Bank, win Money in the Bank, and just kind of tower over everything. Or they could disappear till SummerSlam. You know, who knows? I'm curious about that.
I don't think that it's a good idea to have Roman win if he's not going to be on the show. So like if he's not going to be there, don't have him win this match. If Punk's going to be there and they want to really just kind of hammer home how important this is, I truly believe Punk is going to win this. I think he's going to pin Roman. I don't think that the Punk Seth thing is over in the least bit. They got one more singles match they got to do.
I think that's where I was going at. Like, so to me, first of all, I think out of the two main events, I'm expecting this one to be the better one. I just think all parties involved. Punk hasn't really missed. Roman, I think he'll add a cinematic aspect to it, especially with the Paul Heyman thing. Yeah. Seth is Seth is at the top of his game right now. All three of these men are kind of like real pillars of the industry currently. And I think they're done a great job at setting this up as a main event program. You talk about the build to it. The build has just been them three for the last 3 weeks talking in the ring, which is awesome. We haven't need to had a match. We haven't need.
That was a pull apart.
Yeah. Well, right. There was a pull apart, and then all three. But they haven't had to. We haven't had a match to establish like who's better than who in this situation. Like they haven't had a match since the steel cage match.
Yeah.
Like and Roman hasn't had a match since January.
Yeah, like
or February. I'm sorry, he was in the Rumble.
He was in the Rumble. Right. So they've done a great job at telling the story, and I think these are three men at the top of their game. And to add the favor part of it as well, if I'm putting in my prediction, if I'm like locking it in right now, I'm saying that Punk wins. I think he's pinning Seth. I talk about this being a political play. I just can never count out Roman. I don't understand why Roman would be pinned if Roman's coming back and super punching the shit out of him at some point.
If I am hypothetical, all right, and I don't know nothing.
All right.
The big argument is, hey, Roman, if you're going to be doing this, you need to start actually giving back and letting people beat you. And that was the hang up of the original, what we was talking about. And Roman was like, well, not him, but maybe one of them. That's what I'll say. Not him, but maybe one of them. That's all I'll say.
Okay. I can see that. I can see it. I mean, we're talking about a guy who hadn't been pinned in years, right?
Yeah.
Like who hadn't been
on a one-on-one.
Once in like a decade.
You get the J pin, and
twice.
then you get Cody. So, and then obviously you finally get Cody. It is kind of wonky, I guess, in a sense, for him to lose back-to-back Manias, and it can be you can have smiles. And
I feel like main eventing 11 times is better than just losing twice.
Yeah, well, that's where I was going. It was like, but if anybody's gonna start doing business, it's got to be the guy who had the record-breaking title run. He has kind of like lorded over.
He has to start giving back.
You can return some of the favors now, buddy. It's fine. And if I'm going to return, kind of what you just said, if I'm going to return the favor to anybody, it can be these two guys.
I don't want to equate.
I still have like a bit of like in my brain, like, oh, I can see Seth screwing Punk. Like if they're gonna continue that can be the finish too. Like one of them screws each other and they take the pin to Roman. It's like, yo,
screw anybody
again. Like, what is your deal? But I'm with you. I think we're getting Punk pinning Roman. Like this is kind of Punk's moment because I also think he's gonna be they're gonna phase him out sooner than the other two. Not quite retirement tour yet, but it's like, all right, here's your moment. You may be getting the title later this year. But like the next run of this shit, the next couple years of this, it belongs to these two dudes. So like they're gonna do the job now.
And also, Meelz, like if you think of it as Roman getting pinned by Punk, they still gotta have their singles match down the line. You know what I'm saying? Like that's still gotta happen. And I think Punk and Seth is already set in stone. That last rubber match is gonna happen. You know what I mean? Like they gotta have that rubber match, but this has always been kind of predicated on what would happen if Roman and Punk had their one-on-one match. Finally, we're kind of getting the secret kind of cheat version of this right now. But I can definitely see. I don't think Punk is leaving Roman's orbit. I do not think Seth is leaving Roman's orbit. I think these three are going to be intertwined for much of 2025, probably up to the next Mania. If I was to actually guess of what was going to happen, I think they will be in one of the main events next year. I would imagine, but. To me, it just sets out so many matches down the line. If Punk pins Roman, you get Punk and Roman maybe a SummerSlam, and you still get Punk and Seth at like Money in the Bank, and you could finish that and figure that one out, and then you could still do that. You could realistically still do that. I just think that like we're this is pin talk. We all agree. This is still pin talk. Like we all agree on the same thing, but I think ultimately you get more out of Roman losing because Punk hasn't really. He's been pinning a lot of people and beating a lot of people that people didn't think he could do. You know what I'm saying? And Punk is still
that's part of it too.
Still fucking CM Punk, bro. And I think that the Paul Heyman factor of it all, what we're not missing out on, is that Paul Heyman is such a X factor for Roman Reigns that without him there, that's the story. Can he win without Paul Heyman? And if he doesn't, that creates doubt in Roman Reigns himself. And I'm desperately praying that WWE will allow them to tell a story like they did last year with Roman Reigns when he tried to get the bloodline back, of a Roman that has nothing, that truly has nothing and no one. Please do that. I'm praying they do that. But
so you're saying that this match was agreed upon under the pretense that someone would have to lose in this match?
No, I don't think. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing because the thing is like all this could change.
Because I'm thinking like these are three top guys, right? Like this is like Austin versus Triple H versus The Rock.
It's not predicated on the L. It's predicated on the who's about to be in the main event. That's what it was predicated on. The L is what we're coming up with. But I will say that the one aspect of the lost conversation was that one person in the match probably didn't want to lose to who they were originally scheduled for, and it goes down a little bit easier if they're facing two people that they actually kind of fuck with.
Yeah, it's a compromise, I guess.
I'm giving the same credit though. Like of all the people in this room, and we include Paul, right? And they're getting to call a lot of these shots.
Yeah.
They kind of understand the long term of it all. They understand, okay, we can roll into this, and this from this. Like we still have more money to make, as they would say. So the loss kind of doesn't matter so much. And I also think Roman is understanding of like what it is to pin him at this moment. You know, so
I think if Heyman is there, he's really understanding because Heyman is probably the one who has to sell the idea of like we're doing this to get to this, and this is the big story for this.
The real payoff. Like next year, it's you and Seth in the main, and it's like for everything, like whatever the sell is. So I agree with that. Plus, just by nature of triple threat, there's the ability for it. Like somebody will lose, but we all look strong. Like it took both of us to beat you essentially, and this had to happen. But like we all had a very bad blah blah blah. So I'm with you. I think Punk pins Roman. I think there's the Cena of it all on the other side. So obviously about to talk about. Yeah. But it's kind of like his time, and because we've kept watching him win over the last year, I thought he was gonna lose the whole situation to Drew. I thought he was gonna really end up bowing down to Seth, and he pinned him clean on Netflix, and then like technically won the cage. Right?
No, Seth won the cage. Yeah, Seth won the cage. Yeah.
But like it was by smart. Like they've let him be so strong that I think that he continues that now and then. But they still have more to do, which is dope, which is exciting because these are three of my favorites, and Punk was like my favorite.
Hasn't he only lost to Drew since he's come back?
Or I think that's it, and then the Rumble technically, and then lost to Drew. He's only wrestled so much, like that's the other part too.
Yeah. So I mean, again, I'm more intrigued in what comes after this. The L is whatever. Like I would not be mad, even though I feel like Roman needs to take the pin here. Whatever. I'm excited to see what happens after, and the Paul Heyman of it. Again, if Roman is leaving, Paul Heyman needs to have somebody new to come out with. So like, why not just do that? We haven't even really touched on who he could choose. People think it's Seth. I think that's too obvious. I think that people are going away from the fact that Paul might just end up with Roman again. You know what I mean? Like that just might end up being what happens. But it's good to show. Yeah, exactly. Like it's good to sow the seeds of doubt, and it added a new element to this where we started off with where did this start, and we end it with like where does it end? You know what I mean? Where are we at now? Let's get to the main event of night 2 of WrestleMania. I mean, arguably like the biggest, if I had to rank the stories of all of these matches we've talked about over this, I would think that in my ranking personally, in terms of the investment of the time that they put into this week to week on WWE programming, it's the Cody thing. It's Cody and Cena. And it's really a toss up between the Rhea, Bianca, Io, and the other triple threat. I think that these are the three biggest matches in their mind on this show. These three matches have gotten the most time. Honestly, if we could have, we would have just put the women's triple threat on here as well because it's just as big of a deal.
And listen to those names, right? Like exactly the stature of superstar we're talking about. That like abundance of riches for them.
Yeah, and again, like I think I brought this up on the women's segment. It's like this is an international match between three of the biggest women of all of like 3 continents. You know what I'm saying? Of like 3 continents. Like that's power, as Charlotte would say. But you know, we have Cody Rhodes versus John Cena. John Cena, of course, did the unthinkable back at Elimination Chamber in Toronto, and he accepted The Rock's offer to sell his soul, and he turned on John Cena, he turned on Cody Rhodes, Travis Scott, and The Rock, and now we are at the cusp of what I believe is going to be probably Bloodline Rules Part 2. It's going to be a major motion picture. This match is probably going to be bold and shoe ugly. I'm sure Cody's going to try and hold it together as much as he can, but like we've seen Cena in these matches in the last couple of months.
Cena's kind of he ain't got it.
Yeah, he's depleted. He's very much depleted. I'm not gonna say he's blown up or anything, but I think there's a step that's lost.
You need a tan or some iron tablets or something. It's ghoulish sometimes, but it is what it is.
Before we even get to the match, like post heel turn, there's been so much stuff happening. We've got 3 straight weeks of John Cena promos, kind of expounding upon what it is. He's been off TV for like 2 weeks at this point too. So we're not, the first time we're going to see him is literally on Sunday since they were in at London. But we've had promos, we've had head-to-head promos, we've had Cody versus him, we've had him by himself cutting that 30-minute long promo a month and a half ago. We've had a lot from Cena to really solidify and get this heel turn over. And we're finally at this moment now. And I think my question is like, did we ever think this was like ever even a possibility? Like the two biggest faces from the past and from the present of the WWE they're about to face off in the main event in WrestleMania. Like that's insane.
I mean, I think we were always headed to this match because we're always headed to him breaking the record. But in these machinations, no. Like I was kind of like,
do you feel like this match could?
So I was wishing for like WrestleMania 17 complete bullshit heel turn with whomever, not Vince, but Hunter or whatever. But like, I didn't think it would happen though. Like to answer your question, like not this way. But it's been dope. I've enjoyed it.
Do you think it could have happened the other way? Like, do you think we were looking at something where it could have happened like the good guy of this era versus the good guy of this era, and it's the clash of the champions? Like realistically, they could have. So it makes me wonder what was the decision making in this massive, like essentially character change. And I don't know if it's necessarily for like think of the eyes, think of the viral moment, think of the thing. I'm trying to think of like. I'm assuming The Rock had something to do with it. I'm assuming.
I think that honestly, everything about this has to do with The Rock's machinations of what happened. I would love to, after this is all said and done, know whose decision it was to ultimately pull the trigger on this, because John Cena has been adamant about not doing it. But we knew that there was a possibility that this was going to happen. I mean, I brought it up on the show. Like, is he going to turn heel because he's talking like one at the end of Royal Rumble? Like the way he's talking is like he is about to do something unthinkable. And it finally happened, and now we're sitting here where I don't think this match is as divisive fan base wise as it was with Roman. I think that there were a lot of people last year that were like, well, maybe Roman could do another 365, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Like this year is literally predicated on, do they give it to Cena now, or do they give it to him later before he's out of here? And I think that's where I think the conversation has to start and end with this match. Does it make more sense for Cena to win that title at Mania, or does it make sense for him to win it? It doesn't matter. He can win it down the line somewhere else. It doesn't really matter that it has to be.
Doesn't matter if he wins it at all. To be honest with you,
that's another question.
It's a good question. I would, in the same way I thought Punk was a handshake. You're in a headline. I think Cena was a handshake too, and you know, that's not, I don't think breaking that record is a shot you can call. I think that's kind of like the honor they've bestowed upon him. But there was a bunch of ways I thought this could play out. I thought we could get heel Cody and Homelander stuff, and it's like, no, I'm not letting you come back and take my shit. I thought we could get Cena losing so much that then he turns heel and just like loses it. Like, you know, I don't mind the way we got here, but I'm with you. Like, The Rock's fingerprints are all over this, right? Yeah. Whether they had dinner one time and he told John, like, yo, this shit was so fun, like, you got to do it, or whatever it is. But I think we'll be paying for The Rock not getting his main event last year for some time. And
yes,
this time around, I think we got a great situation and two guys who are willing to play ball. And I think Cena's promo work has been great. I think their back and forths have been like whatever. But I think there's a lot of truth said in jest with Cena too. Like he probably was sick of a lot of this shit. He kind of like did get over it. But you know, you get your great moment. I think he's gonna win now because I think you got to go with the more short-sighted version because there's some bigger payoff in the end. But I'm with you that is the intrigue of this match. Like they're gonna give him this. Is it now? Is it SummerSlam? Is he gonna have to win Money in the Bank? Is he gonna do this, then a third? I think. And this is the Cody hater in me, so this is where y'all get to yell and tell me I'm stupid. That what he's doing is run its course. He kind of needs to, in the same way, like we need to have Roman stripped down a little bit. I think Cody now, it's like, all right, we need to get him back on the tail of redemption.
You could just say you want him to chase again. Like you could just say you want to, because the thing is, what he's been doing. Bands is not something that like and
niggas wanted to take Cody down a notch for years, bro.
I know, but like to the extent of this is like we got to remember that we're like adults. You know what I'm saying? So
yes,
it doesn't work for us.
You're preaching to the choir. I got you.
It's working for kids every single week. You know what I'm saying? I just saw the kid overseas, the special needs kid was talking to Cody for like no one else is really doing that. You know what I'm saying? So in the sense, he is really like the John Cena to them. and you can't take him down like a lot of other pegs. Like you've taken away all of his friends. All of his friends are ops, like literally. And there's one op in the shadows, Randy Orton, is just waiting and biding his time, and has already told him that he has machinations for his title after this is all said and done. Like the guy has no more friends, Bans. What more do you want from him, dog? He has no friends.
I need him to be Stardust again. I need him all the way at the bottom. Like
it's so it's so funny. Bands talk about a dinner because I'm just imagining in my head. They're like, all right, so Rock, you're at WrestleMania this year, right? And he's like, well, no, but what can happen is, when I think it would be great, something we haven't done is turn John Cena heel, like completely just like taking ownership of whatever this guy's career and doing whatever he wants with it. First of all, Travis has to get the receipt, so I'm interested in how that is.
He's gonna be there. He's gonna be there. So like,
it's like, and we're all waiting for Travis to get punched in the face, which is crazy. Like,
I don't know how it's gonna work. He's doing Coachella only on Saturdays, right, Bands? Are you like he's doing it only on Saturdays. So like he could technically do Coachella and then like literally.
I mean, isn't it? Yeah, it's not that far.
It's an hour flight.
Palm Springs there.
Yeah,
because I'm picturing like they throwing him through a table or some shit like that. Like I don't know if he's gonna do that. No,
we haven't even got to like the major motion picture running. But I mean, we could get to it now. Like this is gonna be the most smoke and mirrors of any smoke and mirrors that you could have. I think Meelz is correct in saying that he feels like the first main event on Saturday is probably going to be the better wrestling match, because it probably will be.
This is going to be hokey as hell because Cena's currently very hokey as hell.
Yeah,
Cena's he's in his actor bag right now. He's projecting his voice. He's like, and I think of when Cody does, like, he's very thespian right now. Like he's trying to get his Denzel on in a very different way, like, you know, go see Othello, but like he's trying to get that aspect off. And I'm trying to picture John Cena as a heel, and all I can picture is also 1997 Hulk Hogan of like back scratches and like, you know, rubbing his eye against the ropes and shit like that. Like I'm trying to picture that.
Can I give you guys my thought?
Sure.
This is out of left field. Meelz probably knows where I'm going with this, but I feel like Travis will be there and he will interfere. I feel like The Rock will be there and he will interfere. Cody seemingly has no friends to stop this until Roman Reigns comes out to help him.
Why? I thought you were saying Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I thought he was going to go Austin too.
I don't think Stone Cold's coming. But
I think he's there or something too.
It's gonna be there, but
he's gonna be a Hall of Fame. But you know,
I think Roman should help Cody win. He helped him get the Ulafala back.
I think that's the setup we're getting. I don't know if it's Roman, but I just can't see this match without a ton of Rock
run-ins. Yeah,
he muddled it up last year. I won't say muddled up. It was a great moment. He's gonna do it again. He's all over the storyline. I'm actually surprised he wasn't more involved.
He's filming.
But he's busy, right? Yeah. So it's like, I thought he was really going to play this corporate character, which I think is actually a good turn for him. I know, like, I'm standing The Rock, but I thought it was like, like, really lean into the fact that you're on the board. Like, fuck it. Just be that guy. Everybody's sick of you anyway.
Yeah.
But he's busy. He's doing that. But he will definitely be there for this match. And so I do wonder, like, this is me being, like, the anti guy, but I hope we didn't set like a dangerous precedent last year with just season finale version of that match where we need that now. Now we need Taker has to come out again. And
AEW just did this on a week and a half ago with Dynasty, where they had everybody come out and do like the Bloodline Rules thing is going to be like TLC for the foreseeable future.
I never thought of setting a bad precedent, but it makes funny.
Leans into that as well, and whether we're gonna see like somebody from one of Cena's movies or some dumb shit. But like we're into that range, and it's Vegas, right? Anything can happen. But I think we're getting that. I just still think we're getting like the super villain win of just we all teamed up, we all beat you.
I think the story is that Cody keeps overcoming The Rock's plans.
to go to
the point where The Rock has to step in and do it himself.
Yeah.
And that's where you finally get that.
I like that.
So I think they've also have a priority of viral moments in itself.
Yeah.
That's why I also think like if we already convinced Stone Cold to be there that weekend and we're at the place where he lives, he might now it's not a thing where Stone Cold is going to get like knocked over the head by Cena. I'm assuming he hits Rock and they start brawling to the back. And that's it.
But so they're getting the mulligan on what they should have had last year, basically.
The thing with that is that everyone always wanted Cena versus Austin anyway. That was always a question that could happen.
I feel like you can do the face off with Cena and Austin, which will look 20 years later than it probably should have supposed to be. You look at it and you're like, damn, they need milk or something. And then Austin stuns Cena. Rock comes in, they brawl, they go to the back, and then the match continues. I agree with Bans. We're setting a terrible precedent by having to ensure run-ins now.
The dustiest of dusty finishes ever.
But I blame The Rock.
It is the marvelization of our society at this point. It is a marvelization that we have no one to blame but the people going to the movies every week. Literally, it is the marvelization of.
David Dennis was the one who tweeted that. He's like, this felt like a wrestling season finale. And it really did. Like, I always go back to that tweet because I think that's kind of the point again, even with this match. And, I guess we get into it of like, all right, what comes after, depending on who wins. They're still going, right? I don't think Cody's going away. I think obviously Cena's booked for all these dates.
Yeah. Cena's got I feel like they actually added some dates for him between some of these, but I really just don't. I became less confident that Cena would win as we got past the heel turn. If this heel turn had happened at WrestleMania, yes, like I predicted him winning at WrestleMania just because I felt like the heel turn would have happened there. I've said this before. I feel like the heel turn happening 2 months before almost assuredly means that this is going to be a chase for Cena and not for Cody, and that he might not win it the first time, but he'll probably win it the second time. Or, we get even freakier with it. He could win Money in the Bank.
I don't think Cena will win 17. I don't know if I'm weird. Okay. I think legitimately, if he's wrapping up in December, it really makes no sense from him to really win this championship. He's not active. He's not going to be on the card. He literally only has like 30 dates a year. And don't get me wrong, that hasn't stopped anyone before.
Yeah.
But I feel like the championship, if you're doing that, you're doing the road to the championship for Cody to come back to it, and maybe like SummerSlam or something. And you still got to do a couple matches between them. You might be able to get off a Punk. You might be able to get off a Randy. You might be able to get off one of those. But I realistically are we just having a Cena reign just because?
Yeah.
Like, that's how I feel like it is. Like, Cody, as someone who has won the Rumble twice, who you're really trying to like position as the guy of this era, I think he should win. I don't think Cena should be champion, to be honest with you. I think 16 is like where you leave that his time to be the record-breaking thing has passed, in my opinion.
Wow.
And if there's another opportunity for someone else, because like he's on his way out, like, and he's not coming back. I know he's not coming back. He's one of them guys who's not coming back. I think if you want to do 17 with someone else, do it with anyone. You could do it with Charlotte.
Yeah.
And give that to Charlotte. I mean,
this has been gnawing at me since you texted me about doing the show, and I was like, okay, well, what do I think about this Cena thing? And I kind of land where you are, Meelz. Like, I don't think he needs it. And then what's the point if you just hotshot it, right? He gets the title and he just gives it back a month later. You're just giving him the title for the moment. The part that gnaws at me especially is it's supposed to be this triumphant thing, so that's what makes me think maybe he wins it later this year. Is he went heel, he sold his soul, and even that didn't work, and now he has to come home basically, and he has to be Cena, and he has to be the old Cena, Fruity Pebbles, whatever, and then he wins it, and it's this great moment. I still think he breaks the record. I actually think they haven't made enough of it now in this lead up to make me think this is when he does it. Only the person who's talking the most about it is Ric Flair, it seems like, and not anybody else. I think Cody wins. I think exactly what you guys are saying. Like, this continues to drive for it. The Cena run has always been to me, especially when they announced it a year in advance. He's gonna put somebody over going on the way out. Yeah. Who is it gonna be? I'm the hater in me, because the stand in me wants to see a good Punk Cena feud again. I think we got that moment. I think that happened in the chamber. We're not getting that again. The hater in me is like, oh, he takes it from Cody, but eventually gives it back to Cody. Like he annoys Cody in that sense. It's not gonna be some mid-carder who needs a jump. It's not gonna be a youngin.
And they never do
that. Cody is
his
youngin. You know what I mean? Like,
they never do that.
You're driving me in my car. Like you're my son.
Yeah.
So I think it's eventually that, like, whether he wins SummerSlam and then puts Cody over on the Cena pay-per-view we're getting or whatever, but I think that's where we eventually go, which is all to say, I think LOL Cody wins. I think we're there again.
Are you seriously doing that, bro? Like, are you serious? There are children, like literal children who love this man, bro. Like, they will be. The thing about it is that they have not, if they're going to send people home on like a what the fuck moment on Saturday, they kind of gotta, like, because last year they sent people home sad, right? And then this year they have to send people home happy. I don't know what order they're trying to do it, but like, and again, I've said this before, I said it all the time. I do not envy the Triple H regime for having to write these stories that they've put themselves in. They put themselves in this corner, not us. They got to figure this shit out, not us. So like, ultimately at the end of the day, that's on them to figure this shit out. But I feel like Cody wins. I've always thought he was losing it to Randy. That's been my prevailing theory for the past couple of months, that he would lose it to Randy, and then that would be the summer feud, and then he would lose it for a while and get it back by the fall or whatever. That's still what I think. However, we have so much time left. We have so much time left in the year for Cena. We have so much time left to do this. There's so many tangibles and variables that we don't know. I'm glad that we don't know, because last year, where were we at last year? We were like, if he doesn't win it this year, they have fucked up. You know what I'm saying? That's where we were last year. If he does not win this title this year, they have grossly underestimated and misunderstood their fan base. This year, I'm like, y'all finish the story. Pretty much, I got to take the ride. I got to go on the ride with you guys. And to me, the most enjoyable story would be for Cody to win, but at what cost? Because at the end of this, it's always been about, to your point, Bans, is him losing his humanity, losing his soul. You know what I'm saying? Will he lose it like Cena did? Because he's looking at a mirror of himself. And I think that's the scary part about it. And that's like the really cool literary part of this. But do they go full literal and have him kind of lose his mind to do it? Or does someone come in to show him that he shouldn't have to do that in order to be a champion? And, you know, if it's Stone Cold, that's a perfect that's a perfect foil of because the thing is, it's the 3-4 faces of the company of all of, you know, of all of their decades. I just feel like it'd be so hard if Roman came out, man. If Roman came out, like, oh, like this shit. But for me right now, it doesn't make sense for Roman to come out. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't make sense for Roman to come out right now.
I love that we get these dream matches and we get these eras against each other. The long history of these matches is like the old timers saying, oh, we're still better, we're gonna win.
Yeah.
And I think I think this is actually one of those matches. And there's also the Dusty of it all. Like, they all grew up with Cody. Like, they all, you know what I mean? There's something to that. And I joke about it on Twitter, him being the purest Nepo baby. But like, they know what they're looking at with this dude. When Cena did Austin's pod, right? And they seem like such a mismatch, but you can hear Austin's reverence for Cena. Yeah. Like, he just like, oh, this fucking dude, he gets it. Like, you know, he was teasing him, like, you know, do the hold a little tighter. But other than that, he's just like,
that's the thing that stays in my head the most.
Yeah, like, it always, like, he had to rip him a little bit. He had to, like,
it's like, you look good, but your shit looks fake.
Yeah, like, but it's always like, there's this reverence. And I think about it like in the basketball sense too. Like, the guys know who the guys are.
Yeah.
Cena knows Cody's a guy. You know what I mean? So if he's gonna go through this with anybody, it's gonna be Cody. And same for Rock. Like, there's a reason Rock wants to wrestle him. He knows what the fuck he's looking at.
Yeah.
And so I think it carries on. I don't know who Cena. I still think Cena gets the win. I don't know that it's eventually gonna be Cody. Like, I think we might have some jumping around.
I think he gets it as a face, man. I think ultimately he fails Rock, and then Rock beats up Cena, or he has somebody beat Cena up. and then that kind of is his summer program, and that's where it goes. And he spends the rest of the year trying to get redemption for what he did and what he said. You know what I mean? But
Rockets
who knows?
Dinner or 1-1, man. Don't tempt him. Don't fucking tempt him.
Bruh, I will call Tony Khan so fast. Like, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for everything that's about you. I'm so sorry. But again, this is where we're at now. Meelz, did you said Cody as well?
Yeah, I'm going Cody.
I think we're all in agreement. This is the first time
we all hang out too much.
Yeah.
All 3 matches the same. Jesus.
Wow, man. That is where we're
That's
at.
H booking. That's H booking, man.
Yes.
That's H booking, bro.
It's okay.
If it was Vince, I would say some whack shit.
If it was Vince, we would be in here like, bro, I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know what they're gonna do. We just gotta go
in the bank match beginning of the night. That person wins the
battle.
like that.
We have no clue. But I will say, in terms of all 3 of these matches, I look for them to deliver. I'm with Meelz. I do think that the Roman Punk Seth triple threat will deliver. Will probably be one of the matches of the weekend. But there could be some sleepers happening as well. But that'll wrap up this fucking long recording period of us doing this for the prediction party. Bands, I want to thank you so much. You be going live a lot. You be going live. You be talking to some crazy Twitter people on your lives, man.
I've been getting active on Playback, man. Playback.tv/Eddie. We're gonna go live for Mania until Peacock and WWE comes and tells us turn that shit off. We're gonna go live. At least that is a second screen. I'm gonna try to cheat a little bit, but yeah, man, I'm having fun with it. I'll text you. We talked a little bit about it, trying to lean back more into the content game, and been having fun. So we'll talk some Mania. We'll talk about this show a bit, and I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm actually more excited this year than I was last year. I think it's a fuller card, and I think it's just
because it's better built.
Yeah, and there's so many possibilities, and these main events that we just talked about, like, I think they're all going to deliver. I'm excited for Jay to kind of get that too, like, to have the great match. I've been tweeting that for a while. I dare Jay Uso to have a great one-on-one match. Better time. I think both of those guys, I think all of them, everybody we're talking about here, they understand what they need to deliver on this night. And I think Jay especially, like, he's probably top of the list because what he had last year and the build up to this match is essentially everybody telling him, "Oh, you actually suck." so he knows what he's going. So I'm excited for it all, man. I'm excited to see your tweets. I might have to creep back on the Discord and see all that shit on there too. So
it's gonna be a fun weekend. If you guys have not paid the bread up in the Discord, it is worth every single penny. And Mania weekend is it's no slouch. I will be on Saturday on the Discord, night 1. I will be waiting for our pal, Ugly New York Rob, to tell me if he will be giving me his soul. This has been something that's been in the works. I want to put it on the show right here.
Okay,
before it comes out Saturday.
I'm so sorry, Rob.
Saturday, this is your last chance. Be up bright and early, probably around 9 a.m. PST. I need your answer. So, Rob.
Okay.
Shout out to Mama Rob. Shout out to Mama Rob. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. We'll be right back to end off the show on the A Show WrestleMania Prediction Party.